Hey everyone, it's Neptorka here, back for another reaction video. We have the Gacha Revenue Monthly Report for May. It is Gacha PvP time, where people tear apart other games and show off their EPing. It's great every single time. Let's see. There were several anniversaries that happened over the course of May. So I think we're gonna get some interesting data out of this. Definitely Honkai Star Rail's anniversary was last month. We're gonna see how much that drop off comes, and then we're gonna see maybe how good Wuthering Waves did with their anniversary. Uh, I have not seen any of it. The only thing I was able to see is there's a lot of green, so a lot of basically some gotchas recovered from last month. So I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna give you my opinions based on what I know from the games that I play. I play around 14 of these or so, and then we'll see from there. So, Tears of Timus, don't know anything about it. I didn't even know it was a Hoyoverse game, but it's on the list again. Bang Dream went down. AFK Arena combined went down. I don't really know much about those games. Brown Dust 2 had an increase. It had a collaboration. I'm actually surprised because the collaboration was not popular at all. The IP was popular, Goblin Slayer, but the collaboration, its execution, etc., was not popular. So that's kind of a bummer. Next month is going to be its anniversary. So expect this to go probably higher because the anniversary stuff is generally very saucy and people dump out their wallets. Um, so we'll see. Mahjong Soul. I have no clue what this is. I believe this is that Mahjong game. It collabed with a game that I know of, and I can't think of what the game is that it collabed with, but it's got a lot of anime girls and whatnot in it, so it's a little bit different from your normal Mahjong game. Fire Emblem Heroes, once again, lying about their income. I'm not surprised. Whenever I just see the gray here, I just feel like they're hiding their data. Same thing with Wizards. I wouldn't expect them to do that. I thought Wizards was a Japanese developer, so maybe it's a Japanese developer thing. I don't know. But yeah, not really much change there. So we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel went down 7. Not, I mean, I don't really know much about it. But this looks about standard for what you would expect. Disney's Twisted Wonderland. This, I think, came out somewhat recently, so I think it's going to continue to slide as things go on. Heaven Burns Red, still holding there. This is combined. I'm willing to bet that the majority of this data, of this revenue, is coming from Japan. It is a game that is really popular in Japan, and it just didn't do as great in other places of the world, unfortunately. That's what it is. So, Punishing Gray Raven, continuing to do well, and I think it's mostly because of Wuthering Waves. Like, just the fact that it's tied to it now. Punishing Gray Raven used to not always do this great, and it's just getting better and better. I don't know about the game particularly because I don't play it, but I'm saying its revenue is getting better and better, mostly by association. That's what it feels like. So an increase this month. I don't know what was released in Punishing Gray Raven, but there we go. 3.2 million. Epic 7 down just a little bit from down a rank from last time. Its revenue up a little bit. Renak was released this month, and she's awesome. Like, I love her. There really wasn't that great of units the month before. However, if we're being honest, revenue is dictated by Mystic releases, not their basic units release. Sometimes a limited unit like Renak right here can have an impact, but it shouldn't be that much compared to the Mystics, because that's where they get their money, is people buying Mystic packs in order to get the Mystics. And the Mystic that came out that was kind of relevant for this month was the tail end. Well, no, it's not the tail end. It was the bulk of the it was the bulk of the ML Arunca banner. And so I believe the first part of the banner released in April. So April probably should have been a lot lower than this. And so this is probably really good shape for Epic 7 in terms of increasing. This number will probably go higher next month because at the beginning of June, we're going to be getting ML Aria, and her boob jiggles are off the charts, and everyone's going to love it. So I'm personally all for it, even though I tried my best to get ML Arunca, I failed, and I was like, okay, I'll wait. I could have gotten her, but I decided I would just hold off because I was going to hit pity anyways. And I think I made the right choice. We'll find out when she actually comes out. ML Aria comes out, but I think I made the right choice. Memento Mori, still hanging in there, man. Like I said, when I see these gray numbers, I don't know how accurate they are, but you know, I still can't believe this AFK game just continues to do well. Blue Archive. So this is hard because it's combined. I wish we had them separated, but you can see the massive drop off here in rank. I think it was there was a release in China. Let me see if I can pull it up. There was a release in China for like an anniversary. I could be wrong about that. Not really. So, I can't really explain why there was such a drop off in Blue Archive. Except, I think this is a global drop off. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check real quick. Couple more seconds. That may be too far behind. So yeah, I don't know. I was thinking maybe Kasaki was the month of April, but I think that's... No, that might be right. 8 months ago. We're 11, 20... Yep. Kisaki. So that's what it was. Either this is the tail end of Kisaki. So this is a global thing because there's really not much that happened on the Chinese side of things. Or the Japanese side. I don't know which one is ahead. I think maybe Korean. I'm going all over the place. I don't really know. But this is probably a global drop-off because Kasaki came out and that was a huge OP unit. And now that she's not there anymore, we'll see what happens in the future. I don't know when we're getting... I think New Year's... anniversary stuff is still a little bit away. So this may go back up a little bit just because people who spent a ton on Kisaki no longer have to anymore. But and so the reason why this is lower than normal is because they spent everything on Kisaki and now they're building back up again. So this will probably rise again in the future in the month of June, but it probably won't be by that much. It won't get up to 7.5. And that probably will stay that way until we get another anniversary launch. I don't know when it is. I don't exactly know the months are. I know one of the months is like January, and then I think maybe the Korean side is like August, maybe? I'm not sure, but it'll be coming up soon. So we have solo leveling Arise going up a little bit. Nice, not bad. One Piece Treasure Cruise up 18 spots. I don't know what came out to increase it that much, but that's not bad. I remember seeing, I think one of the One Piece games is getting canceled. Or not canceled, it's just being shut down. Yeah, you can call it canceled, sure. I think one of them is being shut down. There's like 3 or 4 though, so unless that's like your specific favorite one, I expect it to go down. Girls Frontline 2, I'm kind of surprised that it stayed. Well, maybe I'm not surprised. So Yuhi was launched, but it was also the end of Vector's banner. And then this right here should have been like Mekti. And the tail end of Klukai. So I guess it makes sense. Vector, like 2 above average. Well, one above average in meta and the other above average in waifu. In Yuhi and Vector, equaling one rather subpar unit in Mekti and one super tail end powerhouse in Klukai. So this probably is right on target. And unfortunately, I believe next month this will go down because from what we have here, I think the only unit that will be launching next month is not a very good unit. And that'll set things up for probably, I'm going to take a guess, it's probably Springfield that'll come out in July, and then this number will shoot up again. It will for sure. So right now, expect this to go down next month, but for right now, this is actually impressive that it managed to keep the same numbers. Light and Night, Girl Coomer games right here. I know nothing about them. I don't know how well or better they'll do. We'll see. Madoka Magica. I hate Madoka Magica so much. I don't like tragedy-esque games or shows or stories, you name it. I think this is still... it's still somewhat new, and I think it's just coming down off of its polish is wearing off. So it's going to be gone by next month. This will probably... I could be wrong, but I bet this probably goes down even lower. 3 million, 2 million, may even cut it in half again. We'll see. Omnioji, I don't really know much about this, but it really didn't have much change. Seven Sins, Grand Cross. I don't know what the increase is from. I don't really... Net Marvel. Net Marvel, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but Net Marvel is like the king of sending out pump and dump games, but this game I think is managing to hang on for longer than it should. Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Pain, this has been around for a while. I don't know what came out, but it seems like it was a huge patch to almost double in revenue. Pretty nice. We have AFK Journey, which is, must have had a really good jump there, so that's pretty good. Once again, I'm not sure what was released through AFK Journey, but I mean, both these games had a pretty big jump here. Infinity Nikki, I'm surprised this is still where it is. There's been so much bad press with Infinity Nikki. To only lose this much is actually pretty impressive. I think we'll have to see what happens down the line. But this is pretty interesting. You know, only 200,000 less. We'll see what happens next month. I think we need another month to find out what's going to happen. If it drops even further, then we'll know that we're kind of seeing a trend of people saying they're done with the game because of how the developers treated players. We'll see what happens. Summoner's War. I know nothing about Summoner's War. Never did. Never bothered with it. I didn't like the art style or just like the way things were set up. So, but it's still hanging in there, man. It's still continuing to do well, so great job. Hatsune Miku Color for Stage went up a little bit, not bad. I don't know much about this game either. Here's another one of the One Piece games. A little bit less than normal, but still going strong. They're all usually just going strong. Ensemble Stars continuing to kind of just hold where it is. Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle also holding where it is. I'm surprised. Well, no. There's another Dragon Ball Z up above. So it's always a competition. I don't know which one is more popular than the other, but this is doing pretty good. Uma Musume, this is taking way too long to come to global, and I think when it comes to global, it's going to be a massive flop because they just took too long to bring it to global. Like, they're dragging their feet. And so, like, it'll have maybe, like, an initial month surge, and then it's just going to drop off hard. It's going to be one of those Japan-only games, very much like Heaven Burns Red. Like, you can't wait that long for it to come to global. Like, it's all, the shininess is worn off. It's just not popular. It'll be like a year and a half to 2 years behind. It kills it. Azure Lane, of course, got the had a UR anniversary, Chinese anniversary, so doubling in revenue does not surprise me at all. I mean, the girls looked amazing in it, so I mean, I'm not surprised. Doing pretty well, Azure Lane, eating good. This will obviously drop off next month. The anniversary is still going, so it won't drop off as hard as it did here. But it's going to drop down to like 5, probably, and it'll continue to drop off until the global anniversary hits in August, and then it'll go back up, and then the Japanese anniversary, which is in September, which it'll pop off again. Reverse 1989, this had an anniversary, doubling in revenue for a unit that isn't that great. Like, I love Liang Yue, I think is her name. But she's, compared to like Lucy or Junangja, she's not as good as the others. So this is actually kind of surprising here. Recoleta did come out like just days before the end of the month, but it shouldn't be reflected too much in this. So doing this well, it's impressive. The trend for Reverse 1989 is just continuing to go up. This game used to never make upwards of close to 10 million. So I'm actually really impressed. I'm glad that it's continuing to go up. Its profile is continuing to rise, and this is because it's got one of the best stories in Gacha games, period. It's so good. Today, we're going to be doing the new storyline for the main quest. I'm excited for it. So, Battle Cats going down. This is the mommy, the moms, and children right here. This is I really feel like they shouldn't add this into the Gacha list, but it is what it is, and that's where they make their money. ZZZ dropped a ton, half of its revenue gone. People are preparing for an anniversary. It doesn't surprise me. All we had this month was Hugo Vlad, and I don't think anyone was really impressed with him at all. And before this, we had Vivian. Yeah, I just don't think people are interested in Hugo Vlad at all. And with Yi Xuan coming, like, literally, like, in a couple of days, expect the anniversary month for ZZZ to be huge. But this drop-off down to 10 million doesn't surprise me. It does surprise me that ZZZ is getting this low, though. Makes me wonder, where they're spending their money. I'm genuinely curious. So, dropping all the way down to 16 is not something that you see out of one of the big 3 Hoyoverse games. So, I would say, like, dropping off, yes, makes sense. Vivian to Vlad doesn't surprise me. Dropping off down this low is surprising. We'll see what happens in the future. But I think a lot rides on 2.0 for ZZZ. It's kind of a huge deal. So we have Basketball Legends. Did I just say Basketball Legends? Oh my gosh. Dragon Ball Legends. Oh my gosh. It's like I barely started and I'm like messing up all over the place. So this is the other DBZ game. Doubling in revenue. Like I said, I don't know anything about Dragon Ball games, but usually this one and the other one, they fight over top prizes, and it seems like this is the one that everyone's focusing on this week. Great. Dragon Ball will always continue to do well. Puzzles and Dragons and Cookie Run Kingdom. Once again, this is like the mom and little kid territory of gacha gaming. It's just like, actually, let's call it the mom territory of gaming, because like if you're buying as a kid, you're getting your mom's permission. Like, it's coming out of mom's wallet. So this is interesting. And you said Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade, the best character in the game, came out. That's actually impressive because they did so much better this month. So, if the best character came out, I'm expecting it to go even higher. So we'll see what happens next month for this and see if this goes even higher, because having a character release like right at the beginning of the month is usually good news for you. And that's what's going to happen with ZZZ. Like this 10 million, I'm expecting, let's say I would expect into the 50 to 60 million next month. So it's going to jump a ton because Yi Xuan is hotter than Vivian. She's Void Hunter level. She looks awesome. She's the only other Ether DPS we've gotten since freaking Zhu Yuan over a year ago. Almost a year ago. And it's an anniversary. Just, yeah, this number is going to explode next month. It's just, I'm surprised it went this low for Vlad. I think this might be the lowest ZZZ has ever gone. The closest it's ever been to dipping down to 7 figures. So, but yeah. So Cookie Run, Puzzles and Dragons. We have the Idol Master. I've always wanted an Idol Master to come to America just so I can try it out, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. It's pretty much just a Japanese only thing, and I don't know who was released, but very popular. So we have Monster Strike. We're getting to the top 10 here, okay? We have Monster Strike. Once again, I think this falls into the Cookie Run and Puzzles and Dragons. These are the mom games, whether they're buying them for themselves or they're buying them for their kids. So I have no knowledge of them, but they're doing well. So we have Goddess of Victory Nikkei increasing to 23 million. What came out? Little Mermaid came out along with Mihara. That explains it. I mean, this is a huge boost. Not surprising. Little Mermaid wasn't as busty and hot as other like Cinderella or like Cinderella or Red Hood. So I don't expect it to go as high, but at the same time, Little Mermaid is pretty. She's meta, but the funny thing is some people still feel that Leader is still beating her, and she's a day 1 unit that anyone can get at any time, non-pilgrim. So, and Mihara, as lustful as she is a pretty below average unit. She's pretty bad. So, I think that hurt it in the long run. I think Crown did better than this. I could be wrong, but I think Crown did better than this. But overall, jumping up to 23 million, still solid for Goddess of Victory, still continuing to crank out the cash. Now, I see this next one here. This hurts. Oh boy. The anniversary of Wuthering Waves. And that's all they could muster. A measly 4 million. That's bad. Oh, that's bad. Oh, it even dropped in ranking. When you look at Honkai Star Rail's 2nd anniversary and how they went from like 25 million to 100 million, and then Wuthering Waves can only go from 21 million to 25 million, that's embarrassing. Oh, man. Oh, the cope is coming for the ZZZ. The cope is coming for all the woo-woo content creators. I guarantee you, gacha revenue never means anything. It's bullshit. This right here is Zani and the new releases. Like, this is a failure. This is Zani and Chikona. This was your anniversary month. Real anniversary coming in 2.4. I'd almost agree with that. That's true. Like, it's almost to the point where I feel like they ran out of time, but they couldn't just ignore the anniversary date of 5/22, or is it 5/21? I don't know. And they were like, shit, we got to push it back a patch. This number will rise, but this is absolutely embarrassing for Wuthering Waves to have a 1st anniversary and for them to crash this hard. This is a crash, by the way. Like, don't, just because it's green, don't be fooled, okay? The month, let's think about this. What was the month before this? The month before this was Cantarella, except Cantarella was in the first half of the patch, and the second half of the patch had nothing. I mean, am I wrong in that? There was nothing in the second half of Cantarella's patch? That's pretty bad. Which means that filler banner, you could not, you barely beat the filler. That's how bad. This is really bad. Like, the more that I look at this, this is really bad. This should have been, for an anniversary, should have been a whole lot higher. And you know what? Maybe they realize, and this data, like, you can ignore this data all you want, but this is data, even though if it doesn't tell this whole story, and, a lot of their revenue will come in through PC. This is still data that's going to reach the guys at the top's ears and eyes. They're going to see it, and they're going to be like, why did our anniversary come out? And at least on phones, our data, like, no one cared about no one cared about what was going on. And they're going to have to advance like, they're going to have to explain this. And it's not going to be good. The events were trash. The characters were not that great. I got Chacona. I didn't want to get Zani because I didn't want... Like, nobody likes that feeling. Like, as much as people tried to cope and say, oh, you could do it with Spectral Rover, no one wants to feel like their unit that they just got is vastly underpowered without another specific unit. And that feeling is just crummy. I really hope that when Cartetia comes out, it's not going to show, like, if you don't have Chacona, your Cartetia does 50% less damage. Or, like, I'm pulling a number out of my ass. I'm not saying that's what it was for Phoebe and Zani. But that's the kind of thing that we don't want to see. And, we'll just have to see what happens. But that better not be the case. So I'm expecting this number to go way higher because I know a lot of people really wanted Cartetia. And when you drip market out that Cartetia is coming, she's probably the most wanted character. Yeah, she's the most wanted character for Renacita. I think that's without a doubt. And then when they started drip marketing that, you can get the big booba version of her, like, she became even more the most wanted character of, Renacita. We'll see what happens. But this number right here is absolutely embarrassing for the game, and I hope they learn from it. Like, that's all I can say. You're getting beat by Fate Grand Order, which has been out by 8 years. It's just, like, I don't know what to say. Nikke almost beat you, and Nikke is a much more niche audience. Like, this is much more mainstream Wuthering Waves. Like, and if you don't believe me, all you have to do is say, which one of these would you be more comfortable playing in public? I guarantee you just about everyone would say they'd feel more comfortable playing Wuthering Waves in public than Nikke. Like, how do you explain to someone looking over your shoulder that this girl's ass is jiggling in your face on your phone? Like, I've dragged on it enough. Just terrible patch. And I think the only entertaining thing and interesting thing to come out of this is going to be seeing all the Wuthering Waves copers like Ethan or Temu, Saintontas, as I like to call him, Saintontas, and like Tectone try and cope and make up bullshit for why this failed so hard. This is not good. All right, Fate Grand Order. I don't know what happened. I still don't know why people play this game. It's beyond me. I think it's nostalgia mostly by this point. I can't. I can't get behind the game. I rage quit it a long time ago. Uh, I think they fixed a lot of the pity system, but like I could never get back into it. So props if you love Fate Grand Order, but I can never understand why people love the game. So all right, SD Gundam G Generation Eternal. Wow. It's just getting more popular. I think this released in the middle of last month. I could be wrong. So this was like, it's like half introductory feature, and then this is like its first full month. I could be wrong about that. But doing pretty well there. I don't know nothing about it. Maybe I'll have to like see if I can see what it's like. So there's an upgrade there. This is 22 to 36. This is surprising. This is genuinely surprising. Well, okay, so Verissa was this month. And this is Escoffier. Dude, I actually regret pulling for Verissa, and I wish I had gotten Escoffier. So maybe I do understand. But this is surprising. I mean, look at this. You got beat. You got beat by sexy Gordon Ramsay. Oh man. Who else came? Like Navia came out with her, and who else? I want to say Arlecchino, but I don't even know if that's right. I don't have as much vested interest in Genshin Impact, so I don't keep up with it as much as I used to. I usually log in like once a week, and I do like the weekly stuff and so forth, but I don't really get into it like I used to. And like I said, I am disappointed I couldn't get Escoffier. But just know that sometime this month, Skirk is going to release. So this number is going to go even higher. So let's see. Let's see if Wuthering Waves Cartethia patch can beat Skirk. I think that's going to be what everyone's looking for next month, is to see whether Skirk or Cartethia wins. Me personally, I'm in the Cartethia camp in like who I would prefer, okay? But I don't know if that's the same for everyone else. It should be like the last week of the month Skirk will come out. So we'll see. I can't believe that sexy Gordon Ramsay increased it this much. Actually, I guess I can, man. I wish I'd pulled for her instead of Verissa. Like I'm still kind of irritated about it. Like I saw her drip marketing, I was like, I won't want that, and now I kind of regret it. All right, whatever. All right, we have Naruto Mobile. Only in China, kind of hanging in there. I don't know if this is going to be coming globally. I guess we'll see what happens in the future, but yeah, we'll see. Arc Knights. Whoa, holy shit, Arc Knights. I wonder what happened. 20 million? Was it like an anniversary patch or something? I don't know. I like Arc Knights is one of those games I would love to get into, but it's like too late for me. Like it's way past my time. That's why I'm kind of excited that Arc Knights Enfield is going to be like not in the same time period. So like I can go back and read someone else's summaries of all the stories that happen, but it's not in the same time period. Like I can get the lore from somewhere else. But this is something that I wish I had started on a long time ago. I did try to start it a long time ago, and I like compared to all the other gacha games I was playing, I just couldn't get into it as well as the other. But this is a nice big jump. Quite possibly might be the biggest jump of this month. Yeah. 13 million for Goddess of Victory, and then this is 20 million. Yeah. All right. I'm betting this next one here. I see red. I'm betting this is HSR. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. It goes down. It cut in half to 50 million. That's actually impressive. Like this story and this story right here is probably the story of this month. And that is the Wuthering Waves anniversary pretty much brought nothing in. And the Honkai Star Rail coming off of its anniversary and releasing Hyacinth still managed to get 50 million. Actually, maybe that's not as big of a story because Hyacinth's busted. Hyacinth is really busted. I mean, 100 million. The last time a Hoyo game did this was the Mawika and Seat Lolly month of January of this year. And then I looked back, and I think the previous time that it did 100 million was one of the Honkai Star Rail banners, like Acheron or something. Like, it was a long time ago. This is a rare occurrence. So dropping to 50 million, you know what? Actually, this is kind of expected. It's coming off of the anniversary month. It didn't drop as far as it could have because Hyacinth is pretty popular. And then this upcoming month, we're going to be getting Cypher, which is, at least from what we can see, is like she's a debuffer that can basically debuffer and sub DPS that can fit just about into any team. So a lot of people skip her just because of that, but expect this number to go down even further. But it may not be as much as you would expect. Like, I honestly expected this number to come down to like 40, like closer to 40 million. Okay. And it didn't. It went to 50 million. I expect this number to come down to like 40 million next month. That's probably just the way it is. And then it's going to absolutely fucking explode for the Fate/Finon patch. Because Finon, oh man, people are stupid excited for him. Like, that's the first male in the game that people have been super excited for since, like, I can't even think. Like, I guess people were really excited for Sunday, but, you know, we'll see. But this, you know, I guarantee you, these are where the comparisons are going to be made. And I'm very curious to see the cope that's coming out of it. All right, that means the top two are probably Pokemon and Love and Deep Space. Let's see if I'm right. Yep. Pokemon TCG is you know, continuing its trek to greatness, and then the girls are relieving their stress with Love and Deep Space. The girl Coomer game. like man, you can't be upset at this. Girls, you can't be upset at Nikke and Azure Lane, okay? You can't be upset at those if you're okay with this. So, I expect Pokemon TCG, I don't know when it'll hit, but there will be a time in which Pokemon TCG loses popularity, and it will lose it very quickly. It'll just be like a drop off. Like, it will stay consistent. It'll stay in this 60 million range until that drop off hits. And then everyone will all lose interest at the same time. It'll just be like, phoom. That's the way it's going to work for TCG. I guarantee you. Love and Deep Space, I think it's gonna be continuing to stay here for a while, because it has a stranglehold over this market. Love and Deep Space, where the other ones, Beyond the World, Light and Night, like these girl Coomer games, they have like 100% like. They have the market cornered. It's kind of like Genshin Impact when it was against like Tower of Fantasy. Like, I don't think it's going to be easy to penetrate this. So this is going to continue to stay up here. and that's great. So next month, we'll see what happens. Next month, we're going to see Weathering Waves increase. We're going to see Genshin Impact increase a ton. Honkai Star Rail will drop some more. I expect Genshin to move in front of Honkai Star Rail next month. Can Wuthering Waves move in front of Honkai Star Rail? I don't know. After this month, when they should have done way more, maybe not. Goddess of Victory is going to drop. ZZZ is going to increase a ton. In fact, actually, that's going to be an interesting dynamic. Which earns more money? Is it going to be ZZZ? Or is it going to be Genshin Impact? I think that's what everyone's going to be looking for. Honkai Star Rail is going to drop. Who is going to be the new big one on the market? Is it going to be Genshin, Wuthering Waves, or ZZZ? We're going to find out this month, this next month. But that's it for the gacha revenue for this month. You know, honestly, I think the biggest takeaways from this are Honkai Star Rail not dropping as far as I thought it would. Genshin Impact increasing where I didn't think it would, and Wuthering Waves absolutely flopping on their ass. And ZZZ dropping to its lowest, I think. I think that's a huge one. I also think this is also a huge thing. Reverse 1909 almost breaking 10 million. The game is just on a very, very slow, steady rise, and I love it. It's a great game. That's what we're about to go play. So, yeah, that's it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, had fun with the Gacha PvP of the month of May, the beginning of June. I will see you guys back in July, in which we will find out, you know, who is the true winner of everything. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Neptorka out. See you guys.